So hi, let's have a quick review of the thermal vat. That's this thing. Something special. This gave me a 90% success rate of print so far, regardless of the temperature. So looking at the temperature on my Ender 3, just because I don't have a temperature gauge in my hobby/gaming room, if I take the plate, they're pretty good at detecting temperature, to be fair. It is currently at 8 degrees. Now, to print on there, that isn't that bad, because you can obviously heat the pad, you obviously heat the filament coming through. For this, on the other hand, not so good. I have been wondering how, other than getting a small heater, which I've got to keep me warm, but it doesn't really do good for the printer, and it's quite expensive to run, to be honest. So I looked at alternatives. So on a couple of the printing sites, or the Facebook groups, person was advertising and saying how much they really like the product that I'm going to show you and try and install and get it up and running, which is from Thermal Vat Band. They are American, so delivery isn't cheap, but if it can save me my printing fails, I'm normally getting about 50% success rate at the moment, and you can see I'm printing quite a lot. These are all from Station Forge. I'll go into that. I'll do a video on them another day. Or if I've done one, check the previous videos. So I contacted Thermal Vat bands to see what they recommend fitting on the the Saturn 2. And they recommended the medium band, which really questioned how big is the large one. And they sent me what it is. The thing is, it comes with a UK plug adapter with no earth, I want to say. I'm not that great at electronics, because that's the top one. And it's got a temperature gauge in there, so obviously you can make it hotter and cooler on the other is, this is the actual band that heats up, that wires into here. Where are you? Into there. And guidance, or not a guidance, their YouTube video themselves, it doesn't matter which way it goes in, there's no positive or negative, which is really great. Just a simple wire. And then you come with the thermal temperature, which tells you the temperature that goes along the front. So this will go around the back, let's go to the front. In theory, I'm going to look at their YouTube video again to make sure I've got everything right, and then have a go at sticking this on, basically. I'm really interested to see if this will fix. Like I said, if you're in America, it's pretty much, really cheap. I think it was like between $35. But obviously, coming to the UK, it cost pretty much the same on postage. I think it was like $65 in total. In the grand scheme of things, that's not that bad. If that can fix my problem with temperature, then I'm happy for it. Now I know there's loads of other little things you can do, and I know you can get cheaper ones on Amazon that are pretty much like do-it-yourself type products. You could get an enclosure, which people have recommended. I could put a vat seal round the resin, round the edge as well, to keep that temperature core in. But I genuinely don't think that will work because of how cold it is in the UK at the moment where I am, and it's only going to get colder. So I think an actual thermostat inside heating the resin vat it's vat, isn't it, is going to be so much more an advantage to me. So let's see how we go. I'm going to watch the video again. I'll put links and descriptions to all of it in below. I'm going to put it on, show you what I've got step by step, quick guide, but not an exclusive guide. I still strongly recommend watching their video rather than judging it on me. This is purely as experimentation. See if it will work. Wish me luck. So in the instruction videos, it tells you one thing is to clean a little bit IPA or alcohol. It gives you a little bit of scrubber there. And then it's really just a matter of sticking this along that, going all the way around. You want to peel off a little bit at a time, make it stick, but also it gives you the ability to adjust it if you go unlevel and things like that. So I'm going to stick this on and see how it looks. So it's all stuck on. Well, we'll say take your time on it. You want to make sure everything is stuck down. Because medium is quite large actually. I don't know if you needed the medium or you could have got away with a small on the Saturn 2. Goes all the way round. They give you a little bit of black tape, which is to tape down the sensor here. And what that does is detect the temperature, which is obviously really important. These parts will get screwed in to the plug, which are, you know, quite simple. There's no positive or negative is what they say on the video, so you can just plug that in. You plug that in now, because next we'll be doing the temperature sticker, which just goes over the top. I think you will need 2 of these to go round this size. This doesn't affect anything. This is just purely tells you the temperature of everything. So there's no harm in just going all the way around. I believe what you don't want to do is be touching this when it's on, and it just gives it an extra level of protection. Now, obviously, little hint: make sure you clean this out. When I had it on my lap, it was a little bit more liquidy than I thought. But also, don't do this around the lip of where you know, if you get fails, you're going to be pouring your resin. You don't want this going on there. On the Saturn 2, obviously, it's got a nice little vent that you can open up to use to put the wires and etc. through. If you haven't, and you have the option of obviously drilling a hole in it, but be warned that will get rid of your warranty. The other option is to leave it like this when you're printing, which in theory, because it is heated, should be absolutely fine, which makes some interesting, you know, ways of watching you print rather than throwing some red lens. Just change the resin using the resin that's just sitting around. It's not been preheated, so, and it's roughly about 10 degrees in my gaming room at the moment. And the best way of explaining it is the resin has like a little bit of pull, and that is how visually, and if you want to say texturally, you can tell if it's too cold or not. And the best thing about the thermal vat is a little bit of cleanup on there. Yeah. Rookie mistake. Wear your safety gear, PPE. Is it comes with a temperature gauge in there, so it's telling me at the moment that it's rough 15-14 degrees. Now I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to let it heat up, and we'll see this move quite drastically when it heats up. See, already going to 18, you can see it. It's quite cool. And it's telling me how hot this is going. Well, see, the hotter this gets, it means that it's going to heat up inside as well. I've turned it up to maximum, and it's quite a simple dial, to be honest. So this you just on, off, and then maximum. At the moment it's creeping up to 24. And what I'm going to do is then enclose it, let it heat up the resin for about 5-10 minutes, and then we'll come back and hopefully you can see what I mean by it becomes less thick, the resin, and visually that means that it looks like that is good to go, and that's how I've been getting the best results before the vat, consistently 10, sometimes even 6, lower than that. It was 6 degrees the other night in here. It was really cold, and I was getting constant fails on some of the Stormforge pre-supported stuff, and most of the fails were, if I show you, were on these sort of backpacks and the guns. The units were turning out really fine still. A couple of fails on little bits. As you can see, I've been printing loads of bits. And I've got some light tanks coming, and some big tanks coming, and some aircraft coming with some bikers. And I was having about a 50% rate of success. It's going up to 30 now, because of that bits, the smaller bits failing constantly. And it was a real pain because obviously it sticks to the Feb sheet. My Feb sheet has taken a battering and wasn't the best when I got it. I actually contacted Elgu with some pictures, and they were like, yep, no, we'll send you some new ones. So actually in the last couple of days they sent me some new Feb sheets, free of charge. Really appreciate it. You know, so they were like, yeah, that's not what you should do straight away. So so these have all been printed on, you know, the dodgy Feb sheet. So temperature is one of the biggest killers of your resin prints. Without this vat, I generally would have had to give up printing or find something else. And I have seen like the enclosure heaters and stuff like that, but I didn't feel is that safe unless I was in here, because I've looked at some videos from Jesse when he printed out in the snow and stuff like that, which was quite cool. But he used preheated resin in there, and inside it got really hot, and I don't like the idea of that getting that hot with not me around for safety wise. So with the vat, I generally feel really happy with leaving this over a night print. Like I said, from 50% success rates, I'm now getting a easy 90% success rate when you're printing, you know, from big tanks to small, you know, it's working really well. And I'm really happy with the level of detail I'm getting, especially from these Stormforge things. They're just incredible at the moment. And I can quite happily say it, I'm not even fully dialed into what this machine can do. I think a lot of us are still learning, and I'm generally really happy with it. So as you can see now, it's gone over 32, so it's no longer there, and I can feel the heat from it as well. It feels hot. So inside still a bit gloopy-ish, but like I said, I'm going to enclose it up and then go from there. Something I have learnt from a rookie mistake is when you finish prints, this is cold. So suddenly you're putting it into the cold vat. I need to clean that up actually, because it's got a different resin colour on it. It's red. See, it's still some red bits there, so error and a half there. So yeah, when you're changing colours in your resin, take your plate off, clean that up as well. But like I said, this has saved my printing. I can't help but shout it out. You know, the Fernal vat, they're amazing. So let me know what you think. Hopefully come back in about a couple of minutes, or in the magic video it'll be straight away, and I'll show you what I mean by less gloopy and a little bit more thin. Seems to take the prints better that way. Hey, all heated, took 5 minutes, and hopefully visually you can see that it's flowing a lot more. It's basically just a heated up bath. The sides heated up rather than the water heated up, and the water just heats up more, but in this case it's just resin. What I will say is, when you're in a cold room, something that people don't realise, your plate is cold. What I do is I lower this into it and let it sit there for about 5 minutes, get warm, raise it up, and then go from there basically. So therefore it's not like really cold going into hot, which just affects your resin straight away. It just builds straight away. Conclusion though, it's it saved my printing. It's an amazing bit of kit. It's not too fiddly to put on. My only thing is, if I was going to redo it, was I'd turn it the other way around to make sure the wiring is this size, so it's not so close to my lip when I'm emptying it, and then I would have wired it going around the out back and through the vent part. As it stands at the moment, it's going here. It's not end of the world. Just every now and then I need to stick it back down because it gets a little bit of resin there when I'm emptying it, which affects the tape. That was an error on my part. But yeah, it's amazing. Please check out the links and stuff like that in the description. I've got no kickback if you do buy it, but what you could do is just tell them that you found the product for a video on, message them on Facebook, put them in an order. You never know, it might help out the channel, but it also might help you as well. But I think generally really good. Get posted anywhere in the world, very quick postage as well. I think it took a week and just over a week. It was 9 days from America to come to me in the UK, so still really impressed. So here we are, thermal vat working in action. You can see the print going up, quite big print action to be fair. That is a Primark bust that's linked to our giveaway that's come out. Do find that our Christmas and January giveaway, do check out the video for that, because you could win a Primark bust as well. Just print at your leisure. But verdict on the Primark vat, it's amazing. I said, it's the start of the video, I said it has changed my prints completely. I'm now printing at a 90% success rate. It's printing really successful. It's printing clean. I'm getting very, very minimal defects on things. And I can probably put that down to me rather than the temperature of this now, which is brilliant. I could just watch these prints all day. Me, and you're struggling and you've leveled your plate, you've put a little bit of sandpaper to your plate, you've changed your FEP, and you've done it twice and again. Temperature is probably what's killing your prints. That was my problem, and it is working fantastic now. So please check them out. I'm not getting any kickback or anything like this. I had to pay for it, and then I had to pay for postage coming from America. So there was no financial benefit for me doing this video. It's just support to the community, and to me this is an amazing product that can absolutely change your printing success, because I was ready to give up on this thing. I really was, but this has saved my printing. That's my verdict. Hope you enjoy. Please like, subscribe, all of that jazz.